Hey friends, good to see you here on Facebook and maybe on YouTube. We are testing out some new theories on streaming. I am so sorry for the audio difficulties that we had on Sunday morning. It was a great first Sunday back into the building. We had people coming in and we followed all the procedures. We wore masks even while we were worshiping. It was different. But it was great to be among brothers and sisters in Christ. And so Pastor Thomas and I are doing some tests, and I see he's trying to log in now so that we can have a great online discussion tonight about Sunday sermon. So just for a quick recap, I want to let you know the scriptures that there was only one verse the whole sermon was based on Sunday. But I'm going to read some, to put it in context, some other scriptures that put it into its context. It's in Philippians chapter 4, and I'm going to read verses 1 through 9. And I'm reading from the New Living Translations. It says, "Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, stay true to the Lord. I love you and long to see you, dear friends. For you are my joy and the crown I received for my work." Just so you know, this coming Sunday's sermon that I will be preaching, that's going to be mentioned. Even though I hadn't read this in preparing that sermon, the family and the friendship and the love that we have for one another is going to be definitely a key point in that message. But anyway, on to verse 2. "Now I appeal to Euodia and Syntyche. Please, because you belong to the Lord, settle your disagreement. And I ask you, my true partner, to help these two women, for they worked hard with me in telling others the good news. They worked along with Clement and the rest of my co-workers, whose names are written in the book of life. Always be full of joy in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. Let everyone see that you are considerate in all you do. Remember, the Lord is coming soon. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Keep putting into practice all you learned and received from me, everything you heard from me and saw me doing. Then the God of peace will be with you. Everything you heard from me and saw me doing." This is what Paul's instruction is to the church at Philippi. We're going to talk about these verses. We're going to talk about the people that he mentions. And here comes the train. I hope you can hear me over the horn. But in preparation for tonight, I would like for you to be thinking about these people that he mentions by name in verse 2. There goes that train. Euodia and Syntyche. He says, "Please, because you belong to the Lord, settle your disagreement." And then he goes on and he talks to an unnamed worker, and he mentions how these two women worked along with him and Clement for the gospel of Christ. But yet they're having a disagreement. So if you could sum up your life today, from the time you can remember, however young you are when you have your memories, from the time you can remember up until today, would you want to be remembered as these two women in the church, or as this hard worker Clement, who is mentioned and who Paul asks to help these two women to work out their differences? Just some questions, some food for thought. And tonight we will talk a lot more about these verses and what they mean to us. And hopefully you can join us 7 o'clock, Facebook Live. We will see you then.